guys, I'm Hannah Kaufman. I'm the Undersecretary General for Public Relations for the Florida Crisis Simulation, and with me is Director Olin Calvin of Byzantium 1066. So Olin, if you could tell us a little bit about your committee, that would be great.
Alright, well my committee starts out set in the Byzantine Empire in the year 1066, which as we all know was a huge year for Western history, the Norman invasions of England naturally. What a lot of people don't realize is that the Byzantine Empire faced a critical moment in this time period. The Seljuk Sultanate, which was ruled by Muslims, was invading the Orthodox Christian Empire of the Byzantine Empire, threatening Anatolia and Constantinople itself. In fact, the loss of said war resulted in the Crusades, which as we all know started the Renaissance and then precipitated the Industrial Revolution and the colonization, leading to the world as we know it.
Okay, great. So what element of crisis are you most looking forward to?
What I'm most excited about is the fact that the Byzantine Empire involved a lot of backstabbing, which I know that delegates love. Right. The Emperor, or Basilius as he was known, will be a position in committee. I'm hoping that will go between delegates. There are voting procedures for the Emperor, and if the delegates are more interested in just backstabbing each other than actually solving the external threats in the Empire, they're going to spend their entire time voting to see who's the Emperor.
Okay. Very cool. So this is kind of an unusual time period in Western history for a crisis committee. What got you interested in doing 1066?
Well, I've always been fascinated with the Byzantine Empire myself, and I've always been fascinated with the year 1066. You know, in England it was a huge time period, but the Byzantine Empire is just something I've always loved. They were, for the longest time, you know, people are like, oh, the Roman Empire was gone by 580, and it wasn't. The Byzantine Empire was a successor state of the Roman Empire and persisted for another 1,000 years. So it's something I've always been interested in, and this 1066 was a time period where Byzantium went from being a strong centralized state to where it started to fall by the wayside and get supplanted by other states in Western Europe. But up until then, it had been the strongest state in Europe.
Right. Okay. Very cool. And just as like a last question, you talked about all this backstabbing that happens. So kind of to play on that, if you were a Game of Thrones character, which character would you be?
Oh boy, if I was a Game of Thrones character, I like to think I could be Davos Seaworthy.
Okay.
Although I really do have attachment to my fingers, but other than that.
All right, well, thanks so much, Olin. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at the Florida Crisis Simulation and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FLCS_UF.